give it away, but that man doesn't very often. Then, of course, this young man, what a season he's had. Looked as if he was going to miss the final. And I think a lot of responsibility, the fact John Barnes isn't fit. He's come into the side ahead of Mark Walters. And he's going to have to provide that individual flair, take defenders on. He's going to start off on the left. I sometimes think he's better on the right, but he's definitely going to be an exciting man to watch. Then quickly just on to the Sunderland, Tony Norman. I mean, if they are going to cause an upset, he has to play as he has in the previous rounds. He's a very bubbly character like Bruce Grobbelaar, and I think he's got an important part to play. And then finally, of course, the newcomer into the side, Gary Owers. Can he recover from his long time out? I'm sure he's going to have an important part in the game as well.
So, Sunderland in white shirts will start this 111th FA Cup final. I mentioned their lack of Wembley experience. 6 of their team did take part in the playoffs here 2 years ago against Swindon. And as we've said so often at moments like this, it all depends on what happens on the day, and we're off. And just bearing out the point that Alan Hansen made, it looks to me as though David Burrows, actually the kickoffs had to be retaken, somebody was in the wrong half, but it gives me a chance to say that David Burrows looks as though he's playing alongside Mark Wright at the kickoff anyway, and Steve Nicol possibly at left back. We'll pick that one up for you. Number 6 there is David Rush for Sunderland on the right hand side. Here's Nicol now. Thomas, here's Burrows, has played a few games in the central defence in this second half of the season, so he's found right. And this is Rob Jones. Thomas. First touch here for Brian Atkinson, number 11 in the midfield for Sunderland. Now it's Rush. Number 8 is Davenport, but Rush was fouled. 5, Anton Rogan. And again. Burrows had out. That's John Byrne, and it was deflected off his own player. It's a goal kick.
Yes, David Burrows. I think perhaps sometimes centre-back, when he's asked to do a marking job, might be his best position, because his distribution at times there, he just gets a half header that Byrne sort of doesn't quite catch, and it hits Davenport, goes off with a goal kick. But I think his distribution at times lets him down when he gets forward at left back, and Stevie Nichol's so good getting down that line, supporting McManaman. I'm sure that's the reason. And of course, Nicol did play there in the semi-final, didn't he? The second game against Portsmouth.
Good challenge by Rogan there. He wasn't fazed by a little dummy from Dean Saunders, the Sunderland left back. Here's Michael Thomas for Liverpool. Gary Bennett comes in to meet the ball first. Looks for Davenport. Mark Wright across. Important match for Mark Wright this. Just obviously in terms of the leadership of Liverpool, but also Graham Taylor hoping that he reports for duty tomorrow. Here's Burrows. Ian Rush. 2 Rushes on the pitch, of course. Ian of Liverpool and David of Sunderland. And here is that very man. Mulby, Nicol. Swung wide by Mulby, beautifully to Ray Houghton, number 8. Michael Thomas, a forward running space. Michael Thomas shoots, holds his head for skying it, but Tony Norman was very quick to his feet.
Typical Liverpool move with it. Ray Houghton comes inside on his right foot so well, just flicks it with the outside of his foot. Thomas making that deep run and tries to lift it over Norman because he's so close to him. Spread himself well and lifted it over the crossbar. Michael Thomas, who played here for Arsenal against Spurs in the FA Cup semi-final last season and was disappointed, but he did get the winner against Aston Villa this year in the 6th round. So Tony Norman fast off his line. Burrows covering behind Wright. Nicol. McManaman starting on the left.
where Barnes would have been. Rush, David Rush. Offside, Davenport. Mulvey. Ian Rush. Thomas. This is Byrne. It was Atkinson who broke it up to start with, and then it was Bennett who collided with the referee and has put them in trouble. Saunders taking on Rogan and Armstrong for Sunderland after Mr. Don got an inadvertent touch. Here's Paul Bracewell. Byrne to his left. Armstrong. Houghton for Liverpool. Jones. This is Burrows. Good tackle by Rogan. He started well. This is Byrne. Davenport in the centre. Rogan outside him. Still Johnny Byrne.
Well, he got it on target, but there's Anton Rogan given a shout across because he was a spare man. A little reverse ball would have left him clear, and I think it was a wasted opportunity.
Here's McManaman. Nicol up on the left for Liverpool. Takes on David Rush. Thomas. Nicol. Deep one. Oh, it took Armstrong to clear it. Corner to Liverpool. Saunders will take it. Mark Wright is trotting up. McManaman and Rush in the 6-yard box. Here comes Wright. It's come out to Thomas. In support here, Nicol. And now Mulvey. Nicol again. And Wright still in there. And so was Rush.
Tony Norman's had a couple of good early saves. He held on to that one well, but it's a very bright, open start to the game. We've had chances both ends. This one, Mark Wright staying in there, heads it back down, and look at Ian Rush make up the ground. Good half volley, but fortunately for Sunderland, straight at Norman.
This is a promising opening, this, by both teams. Thomas. Saunders. Houghton. Saunders starts a run further forward, and this is Nicol to Mulvey. There he is. Foul. Gary Bennett. So a brisk 7 minutes here. Weather now damp and overcast, but it's not raining. McManaman to Nicol. Saunders, a darting run, pursued by Bennett and 2 others. Hours. Oof. Straight to Mark Wright. Mulvey, measured touch. Rob Jones. Grobbelaar's there, but it's blocked off now. Oh, that's a good piece of play by the potential England right back. It was Rogan forward again for Sunderland. Interesting to hear Grobbelaar on the pitch before the game saying to Ray Stubbs that he was more nervous than he's been for a big game in years. It just went to prove that this is important in more ways than one for Liverpool. If they were not to win the Cup, they wouldn't be in Europe, which for them is almost unthinkable. Here's McManaman. David Rush. Davenport, Gary Owers sprinting up on the right-hand side. They've got 2 in there. This is Owers. He found the position superbly.
Well, he got great lungs. He gets up and down the pitch, whether midfield or fullback. Superb ball by Davenport. Now he's got so much time. If he just looked up beyond the look at the far post there, Armstrong. I mean, that was a nothing ball. It wasn't a cross or a shot. He could have just floated it to the far post. He could have had an opening goal.
Absolutely. It's Hours not unfamiliar with the right back role. Indeed, this is Houghton for Liverpool for the moment. The former Sunderland manager Dennis Smith told me a long time ago he thought Hours might make an England right back one day. Then he went and played in midfield for a while, and now he's in the right back slot.
But that's possibly the way Sunderland would score goals against Liverpool, soaking up a bit of pressure and then running deep from midfield, where a lot of people say at times Liverpool are a little bit flat and square, and if you can just time the runs deep, as ours did on that occasion, you can get behind the Liverpool defence.
Davenport trying to find David Rush. This is Mulder. Well, that's a raking ball, looking for Ian Rush, but Gary Bennett got there. Michael Thomas following up. Saunders. Anton Rogan. Jones found Saunders there. Rush in the middle, making a run now. Saunders tried to curl it. It's come back to Houghton and now to Mulby. Liverpool making the play. McManaman, Saunders up on the left. Steve Nicol. It goes to him via David Rush. Still Nicol. Deflection on the cross corner.
A magnificent pass out of defence by Rob Jones to set Saunders clear. When he came inside, his first shot blocked. At the moment, not quite being able to get his sights on the target.
Well, it's Rush waiting there. McManaman is in front of him, in fact, and Saunders behind him. But it's been played right back for Ray Houghton, and now Mulby. Liverpool using the full width of the pitch here. Michael Thomas. Houghton. Rush nearly made it. McManaman there. And Sunderland scramble the ball away with Bracewell. How long for? Right. Oh, it was a good little ball by Mulby. Jones. Houghton. They are playing it around confidently at the moment. Here's Thomas. That wasn't so good. Gave Rogan the chance to clear.
Well, Mulby's had a superb opening, hasn't he? I can't remember him giving a pass away. And I mean, they're not just easy, no chance balls. He's spraying it all over the place, positive through balls. And I mean, when I say players like a good early touch, he's had about a dozen.
That's right. I don't know who's going to have to try and shut him down. Bracewell perhaps in that midfield area. Anyway, for the moment, Liverpool have got the edge. They've also got a free kick, which Ray Houghton is placing. And here comes Rush. Dropping into the hands of his former schoolmate, Tony Norman.
The problem of who's to pick Michael Thomas up. Bracewell as the more of the anchor man would be the obvious one, but I think they're worried about his pace. So they've got Ryan Atkinson actually picking up Thomas, and Atkinson is the one for Sunderland who gets forward normally. And of course, when he's having to work back defensively, at the moment they're having a problem getting the support to the strikers.
Well, that was an interception by Gordon Armstrong from Rob Jones. Davenport's on the far side. This is Byrne. Davenport making a run now. Byrne plays it wide again. Armstrong wasn't quite ready for it. Byrne remonstrates with Armstrong for that. This is Rogan now. Davenport holds it up well usually. Rogan. Oh, a skidder. Bruce Grobbelaar from Anton Rogan. And Grobbelaar may have collided with the post.
Yeah, he's just hit the back of his head there. Got a lovely left foot, Rogan. This one just bounces nastily, and you can see the thud there. That's a nasty whack. You mentioned that Bruce Grobbelaar was a bit nervous beforehand. I mean, it's an important game for Liverpool, but particularly for Bruce Grobbelaar as well, because there has been questions about whether they're looking at a goalkeeper, and he knows he needs an important game like this, a big match.
Short to Byrne. It's Kevin Ball at the back there. Byrne! Oh, he was onside, and what a good chance for the man who scored in every round. Liverpool were sleeping a bit, weren't they?
Well, it was a half clearance. Everyone challenges, and a great header comes back across, and normally John Byrne would compose himself, even control it, and then pick his spot. He just snatched at it. That's what Wembley does for you.
I also think the skiddy pitch played a part in that, Trevor. A Liverpool defender fell over. The man, in fact, who should have been covering Byrne, I suspect. It was Kevin Ball, wasn't it, who knocked it back across?
Great header, a wonderful opportunity. You don't get many clearer chances than that.
Will they get another one as good as that one, Wonders? Here's Michael Thomas for Liverpool. Now, a lot of movement here. Thomas is well forward. Often said, isn't it, the best way to score against Liverpool is from a set play. One thinks of the free kick here, Wimbledon in '88, and from that corner, they were certainly troubled. Sunderland supporters thought then that they might be going into the lead. Free kick to Sunderland. Quarter of an hour gone, and it's been an eventful opening here. Gary Hours to take the free kick. Aimed at Armstrong, it got there. Byrne's in there again. Grobbelaar punches. David Rush couldn't get his foot round it. Bit of a tangle. Rogan. Armstrong flicks it on. Oh, that's a foul, surely. Anton Rogan didn't have to do that, really, because the ball was running quite kindly for Sunderland.
It wasn't the most subtlest of challenges that I've seen, but I mean, Sunderland have come and grown in confidence, haven't they, after couple of chances for Liverpool early on. They must be encouraged, and they've definitely had the best one so far, and at present very even Steve.
Yeah, it could have been 2-2, couldn't it, already? Offside flags up. Not sure what those last Sunderland attacks did for the nerves of Souness and company, but still, it's Bennett who takes the free kick. It's now a Liverpool free kick. This is Burrows. Showing a bit of that to John Byrne, but then Nichols slips. No doubt that the surface of the pitch, as it was saturated this morning by that prolonged rain, is causing the players some discomfort here and there. This is Byrne. David Rush joining him. Still Byrne. Hours to take the throw. Armstrong trotting towards him now. There's Armstrong. There's Davenport away by right. And then half away by Mulby. Oh, it's gone wide off Mark Wright. The shot was by Bracewell, and the deflection could have gone anywhere to Grobbelaar's relief. It flew off Wright's foot. I think it was Wright, and went past the post. Yes, look at that. Grobbelaar was going the other way. It's a corner. Ball is up again. Bracewell, of all people, he hasn't scored for 2 years, and he nearly put his side ahead.
I think he was shocked to get a pass like that from Jan Mulby in the penalty area. We said how well Jan Mulby had done, and suddenly, instead of hooking it away to safety, he tried to lay the ball off to Rob Jones and set up the scoring opportunity.
Michael Thomas at the other end. Armstrong. Liverpool throw. Jones. Houghton. Aimed at Thomas. Away by David Rush. very relieved, Mark Wright. Foul. Only as far as Rogan.